Hey there, movie fans. Welcome to the Blues of October. I'm going to show you my latest Blu-rays that I purchased over the month of October. And first off, of course, I'd like to give two YouTubers a shout out. And they are JX Rico and Terror for Tom. They have very nice channels. They make very nice videos. And they seem like very nice guys as well. So definitely go check them out and sub. Okay, now on to the Blu-rays. The first 6 titles that I want to show you are all steelbooks. And the first one is The Rocketeer. Now I bought this last month, but I didn't receive it at the time. But this is a beautiful steelbook. This is from Zavi, by the way. It is sold out now, but beautiful steelbook. I really like the front cover. Here's a look at the back, and the movie is great fun. It's a great action adventure. It kind of have an Indiana Jones vibe to it, and it also has Nazis. So you know the best Indiana Jones movies has Nazis as well. So great fun movie, The Rocketeer. Next up is the steelbook of Fast and Furious 6. I absolutely enjoyed this. This was just, pure entertainment. I actually thought that part 5 was going to be difficult to top, but they did it. I mean, in my opinion, that is. I actually thought this was even better than part 5. Some of the action scenes were incredible. You know, the car chase scenes are just phenomenal. You know, and the ending at the with the airplane, was kind of like 5 or 6 different action scenes all in one. That was great. Although I do have to say that, you know, I was wondering how long the road was. You know, the airport road, because it seemed endless. But you know, despite of that, it's a very entertaining film, and I cannot wait for part 7. I have a feeling that part 7 will even be better than part 6. If you just look at the actors who's going to be in part 7, you know, Kurt Russell, Jason Statham, and also Tony Jaa, who's the martial artist from Thailand, is going to be in it as well. So the because of the cast alone, is going to be worth it a lot. So looking forward to part 7. I also bought the steelbook of Die Hard. And this is a beautiful steelbook. I really like the front cover. And there's the back, which had, you know, the back of the bullet kind of embedded into, I don't know, a piece of steel, I guess. They're also going to release Die Hard 2 on steelbook, so I'm going to get that as well. Next up, and man, if this isn't the sexiest front cover you have ever seen, then I don't know what is. I mean, take a look at this. Will you just take a look at this? This is, of course, the steelbook of From Dusk Till Dawn. I mean, look at this. I like it that they didn't put the title on here, or the names of the actors, or any other words. It's just Selma. And it's kind of like an old picture, you know, see you have some scratches and some dirts. And there's the back. Oh, who cares about the back? Just look at this. Oh, man. Just give me a minute here, folks. Oh, my Lord. Oh, anyway, I have to continue. I'm drooling here. Beautiful, beautiful steelbook. Man, I can watch this for hours. Next up is the steelbook of The Wicker Man. Well, what can I say? What can I say about this one? One of the best British horror movies of all time, if not the best British horror movie of all time. Very nice steelbook. Now, there's also a 3-disc Blu-ray set from the UK, And had I know about that one, I would have been getting that instead of this steelbook. This steelbook contains two discs, but it has the Blu-ray and the DVD. The 3-disc set has two Blu-rays, two versions of the movie, and it also has a soundtrack. And I also have the Anchor Bay wooden box set, kind of like a cigar box, which has two versions in them as well, the theatrical version and the extended version. This is the final cut, which is the third and latest version of the movie. So yeah, beautiful steelbook. Next up is the steelbook of World War Z, or I also heard other people saying, calling it World War Z. I guess it depends on which country you're from. But this is the entertainment store exclusive, limited to 5,000. And here's my number at the bottom, 158. Just look at the back. They could have used another artwork on it because it is, the same as this one. But it's a very nice steelbook. And I read the book, by the way, by Max Brooks. Max Brooks is the son of Mel Brooks and Anne Bancroft. Mel Brooks is, of course, the director of such comedy classics like The Producers and Young Frankenstein. And Anne Bancroft, she was an actress who passed away a few years ago, and she was best known as Mrs. Robinson in The Graduate. Now, the book is different than the movie. The book takes place 10 years after the war, and it's kind of like an interview book. I mean, it's about this guy who works for the UN, and he travels around the world to speak to people who had an important part in the war. So you have these different kind of stories from different places, and there is enough material in the book for for at least 10 movies, but I don't think they're going to make 10 movies out of it. But I heard they want to do a trilogy. But the movie was good, flawed, but good. I mean, some of the scenes didn't make any sense at all. Like we're going to have some minor spoilers, by the way. The plane crash, nobody could have survived that. Or the Jerusalem scene, Jerusalem is surrounded by these huge walls to keep the zombies outside. And at one moment, there's this little girl who grabs the microphone and starts singing, and people start dancing, and the zombies respond to that, and they starting climbing on top of each other to get over the wall, and they manage to do just that. And I didn't really buy that. I mean, there are helicopters flying over the city, there are airplanes flying over the city, and those are much louder than just this little girl singing. So why didn't they respond to that? But or maybe they just didn't like the girl singing. It's possible. But despite of that, it is a good movie. The action scenes are great. The zombies are effective. And besides, how often do we get to see a $200 million zombie movie? They've never done it before, and I'm pretty sure they will never do that again. And if they are going to do the sequel, I doubt it that they will spend another $200 million on it. So, good movie. World War Z, or Z. Okay, next up are some Scream Factory releases. The first one is Life Force. I've always loved this movie. It's silly, it's ridiculous, but it's so much fun. This has always been my second favorite Tobe Hooper movie. The first one, of course, being Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But this one contains the theatrical cut and the longer director-approved cut. I don't think I've ever seen the longer version though. I'm not really sure. But this is great. It's about vampires from space coming to Earth. And here's the original artwork. Yeah, great film. Always liked it. Next is The Howling, a werewolf movie by Joe Dante. This has some terrific transformation scenes by Rob Bottin. Rob Bottin is of course the genius behind John Carpenter's The Thing, you know, the makeup effects genius. And he also worked on RoboCop and Total Recall. He's the guy who designed the RoboCop suit. And you know, I was wondering whatever happened to Rob Bottin. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've heard about the Rob Bottin. I don't know if he still works in the business though. But anyway, a very nice release. The Howling, pretty good film as well. Next is Prince of Darkness, by John Carpenter. This used to scare me a lot when I was a kid. It isn't scary now, but at the time it really creeped me out. Great release as well. Is the original artwork on it. And there's another Carpenter classic, The Fog, one of Carpenter's best, without a doubt. And here's the original artwork too. I mean, just ignore the remake. The remake was just unbearable to watch. It was absolutely terrible. And the last Scream Factory release that I have is The Burning, one of the best slasher movies from the 1980s. I really love these releases by Scream Factory. I'm definitely going to get more of them. I do like to get Psycho 1 and 2, and they're also going to release Nightbreed, the Cabal cut, or the director's cut. So I'm really looking forward to that. Next is Four Flies on Grey Velvet by Dario Argento. I believe this is his second movie as a director. Or at least his second giallo as a director. The first one, of course, being The Birds on a Crystal Plumage, which is definitely one of his best works. Unfortunately, I cannot say the same about this one. It's okay, it's a decent film, but I was expecting more of it, to be honest. It's definitely not a masterpiece like it says here, but it was alright. At least this is better than his recent, work. I mean, I don't know what it is. I guess Argento kind of lost his touch. And I recently saw the trailer of his latest movie, Dracula 3D, with Rutger Hauer as Van Helsing. Man, that one looks absolutely terrible. I mean, absolutely terrible. I don't know what happened to Argento. I've always preferred his early work, Crystal Plumage, Suspiria, Deep Red, which is really my favorite, Phenomena. Those are really great films. Next up is Zombie, the sequel to Zero Dark 30. I picked it up for €3, and I could not let that go for that cheap price. It was almost for nothing, really. I was expecting a bad movie, but it turns out to be a very entertaining movie, to be honest. I quite liked it. I thought the characters were likable. I thought the zombies were, were done very well. So, yeah, I was quite entertained by this one. Zombie, very silly movie, but I like silly movies. Next is, and this is something completely different. It is From Here to Eternity. This is such a wonderful film. Absolutely a wonderful film. In my opinion, this is the best Pearl Harbor movie ever made. You know, it has some great actors. Burt Lancaster, Montgomery Clift. He's phenomenal in this film. There's no picture of him on here. It's only a Sinatra, Lancaster, but Montgomery Clift, he's just great. One of his best performances, if not the best performance. No, I think it's one of his best performances. Frank Sinatra, he was doing, you know, his career was at a very low point at this time. So he was really begging to be in this movie. And there is a rumor that he contacted the mafia, and you know, they asked for his help so he can get into this film, but that turns out to be a myth. But you know, that myth was also in The Godfather. You know, at the beginning of The Godfather, you had this famous singer who was kind of begging to Don Corleone if he would help him out getting, you know, this part in this movie, but the producers, you know, didn't want to have him. So the mafia, you know, Don Corleone sent some men to the producers, and you know, they made him an offer he can't refuse. But the producers was a very stubborn guy. He kept saying no until one morning he found the decapitated head of his horse inside his bed. So you know, that really gave him, made him the decision to cast the singer. You know what scene I'm talking about. You all seen The Godfather, and that was supposedly based on the legend of Sinatra. But you know, like I said, it's a legend. It's a myth. It never happened, or at least not that I know of. It could have happened, though. You never know. But officially, the news of how Sinatra got the role is he was married to Ava Gardner at the time. And Ava Gardner was doing a movie for Columbia, and she was good friends with Harry Cohen, who's the head of Columbia, and she did a good word for, you know, her husband Sinatra, and he got a part, and he won an Oscar for his role, and you know, it was a big comeback for him. But this is such a wonderful film, From Here to Eternity. It comes with the a nice slipcover, as you can see. And it also comes, and I did not notice, it also comes with these art cards, by the way. These are very nice, kind of fold out art cards. Here's Montgomery Clift, by the way, that's him. If my camera can get focus. Ah, no. Here he is. There we are. Nice set of art cards, and there's also an artwork on the inside, as you can see here. Burt Lancaster and Deborah Kerr. This is the classic scene on the beach. This is also on the disc, as you can see here. So great Blu-ray release, and a truly magnificent classic film. From Here to Eternity. And the last one is Leo the Professional. This was on sale at Amazon. I believe I got this for 6 or 7 euros. Luc Besson's best film, if you ask me. You know, I love The Fifth Element, but I would have loved it more if Chris Tucker was not in it. You know, but this is just perfect. The direction, the action, the music, the acting. I mean, Gary Oldman is phenomenal. Natalie Portman is sensational. You know, I still cannot believe that this is her debut movie. You know, the way she acts in this film, it's like she have acted before this for many years. Such a brilliant film, this one. And I still cannot believe that this is almost 20 years old. I mean, the first time I ever saw this film was on VHS. It made me realize how old I am. But this is a phenomenal film. Leo the Professional. Absolutely phenomenal. And that was it for my Blu-ray update of October. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you next time.